Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Want to jump on real quick and go over the notes from the spring showcase. Since we didn't have an actual spring game this past Saturday, we did have a spring showcase. They did certain drills and they did a little scrimmaging, but it wasn't a full-on scrimmage like a blue-white game. So let's go over what Mark Stoops said after the game. First of all, one observation. Zach Calzada. I've been talking about him on quarterback videos and one or two other videos. I really thought he showed out in spring practice as far as his arm and his arm strength and his accuracy. Jamori Macklin, if you go back to UK Sports or KSR and listen to Jamori Macklin after that showcase, and he'll tell you how impressed he was with Zach Calzada. But let's condense Mark Stoops' press conference so you don't have to go and watch the whole 30-minute press conference. Let's condense it down to about 5 minutes. First thing he said was the team got better. They had 14 practices for spring. And so they definitely got better, and that's good. No major injuries. Like last year, we were getting people injured in spring and summer practices that were out for the year. We didn't have that this time. He said that this past Monday morning, that the players will be back in the weight room and back and having meetings. And then there's a short break or a break in May, and then they'll come back for the summer. So they are going to hit the weight room because they need to be more athletic and stronger. So that's a good thing. He talked about the roster. He said the roster is good, but we need a few more players. So they're going to go to the portal to look for a few players. Every day, KSR and Jeff Drummond and some other people have been updating who's leaving. We're losing a few people, but we aren't losing any of our main offensive linemen or defensive linemen or anything like that. So we're just losing some second and third string guys, which we're going to go in the portal and get some back. I know the portal opens up in about a week or so, and it's open for like 14 days. So it's a quick process if you're going to get somebody. He also was talking about the wide receivers, and there's two wide receivers that stood out. First one he talked about was David Washington, and I think he's a second or third year guy. If you go back and look at my wide receiver video, high school freshman Montavian Quisenberry. I think he had like a one-handed or juggling catch. If you go back and watch the footage from that showcase game, yeah, I mean he caught. I don't know if it was a touchdown, but he caught a juggling catch, and he's been a standout, which is good because we need some receivers. Like I said, if you go back and look at my receiver video, we don't have any burners, but we have a lot of good, complete, just guys that have experience as receivers. Then he talked about the running game, very important. He said it's the most improved part of the team, and that the O-line is more physical, and he has been impressed with Dante Dowdle. I think he had a long run. I think they tag you instead of tackling you. If they wouldn't have tagged him, he probably would have went all the way. So this Dante Dowdle from Nebraska, the transfer we got for running back, is as advertised, and he's going to get a lot of goal line work, and he scored multiple touchdowns if you go back and look at my running backs video. So for those of you, this is your first time, we're breaking down the whole team by positions. So who came out yesterday? Defensive line video just came out yesterday. And then we're going to go to linebackers on the weekend. So we will get everybody. Then we'll end up with defensive backs and cornerbacks. So that way you'll have some idea of who's on the team, because I don't know either. And like I said, it's subject to change with some people leaving here and there. He gave a shout out to Kalen Edwards. The defensive lineman said he's been impressive, especially at the goal line, which is good because we have a lot of new defensive linemen. And that group's going to have to really step up if we're going to have a good year. Somebody asked him that, what strides has the team made since the Louisville game? And he said that everyone is accountable to each other, or being accountable to each other. That's the biggest thing since the Louisville game, which is a good thing, accountability, because we certainly didn't have it last year because nobody was being accountable to anybody, and he sort of lost the team there. So I don't think he's going to let that happen again, which is a good thing. Bo Allen. We talked about Bo Allen. If you go back and look at my quarterbacks video, I pretty much said what he's going to say. He said the senior quarterback, Kentucky boy, Bo Allen. We know Bo Allen. He's been a great addition. He doesn't need a lot of reps to run the offense. If you go back and look at my video, yeah, he played a year at Tarleton. So, as I said, and I think Mark Stoops is kind of saying this, but not saying it out loud. He's a good quarterback to come in and manage a game if in a pinch, but you don't want him being your starting quarterback. But obviously, when you have a senior like that who has experience, at least 1 year of experience, that's a good thing. So shout out to Bo Allen. The defense, someone asked him about the defense, and he said the defense must be able to defend complex offenses, and everyone must be focused on the calls. So yes, our defense will be facing probably every offense we face will be complex. And yes, everyone will have to know the calls, obviously. So that's a good thing. They're working on the calls. And then he talked about Zach Calzada. Let me get his words right. He said Zach Calzada just needs to adjust to the details of the offense. Yeah, I mean, right now, I just think he has an edge. If you listen to everything that's being said, he has the edge as the starting quarterback. Like I said, my friend from Texas A&M who saw him play in 2021, which was a long time ago at A&M, said, look, the guy can throw the ball on a rope. And yeah, his nickname is the Cuban Missile. So even if he doesn't win the starting job, he'll be playing. But right now, it sounds like he's ahead. And he's a 1 year guy. So, that gets Cutter Boley a year of sitting and maybe taking some practice reps and then coming in next year and being the starter. I think that's probably the plan. Could be wrong. We'll see how it goes. High school recruiting. They asked him about high school recruiting versus the portal. And he said there's going to be a balance between the amount of players you take out of the portal versus the amount of players you take out of high school. That's going to be from now on with the way the NIL is. And he said it will be adjusted every year for what we need. Like this year, we needed some offensive linemen and some running backs and we went in the portal, which was a smart thing to do because I think the team's going to be much better unit. I don't know how many more games we'll win, but I think we're definitely going to be better offensively. I can tell you that. What else did he say? Oh, they talked about the JUCO rule. I just saw this morning on KSR. Today is Tuesday if you're watching this, and I'm going to probably put this out Thursday. They're trying to get True Edwards, the Louisiana Tech wide receiver, eligible. Some JUCO rule that, it doesn't count as a year. They're optimistic that they can get him eligible to play. Yeah, he's the guy, like that's from Louisiana Tech that has all the experience. Over 1,000 yards, numerous touchdowns. If you watched him at all at Louisiana Tech last year, especially where he played the slot, he's a really good receiver, fast, good hands, can run a route, SEC receiver. We need him. So keep your fingers crossed on True Edwards. The only other thing he talked about was the punter, Adam, I'm going to say Lavos, and said he's a special punter and he's really good at sky kicking. I didn't know what sky kicking was. Downing the ball inside the 10-yard line. So he's getting really good at that. So we're at 8 minutes. So we did his 25, 30-minute press conference in 8 minutes. So that's not bad. That's the spring showcase / spring game notes. Now spring is over, and now we'll head to the summer. The portal's going to open. Hey, if we get somebody, I'll hop on here and do a video. Basketball. I will do a basketball video. So stay tuned. There'll be more basketball, football, and I'll do shorts. I have a shorts section. I'll be doing shorts from all the players, as I've said before, between the 1970s to now. So you can see a little bit of history of who our great players were, because we had some good players. They were just on some teams that didn't do so well. If you like this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.